Spider-Man Brand New Day spoilers. If you haven't seen Brand New Day, scroll away now. And I did not like the movie. I honestly go as far as to say the movie sucked. Okay, I didn't necessarily know why it sucked, other than the plot sucking. And then I was listening to the Escape Pod podcast, and they said that every major fight sequence, with the exception of Jean Grey, we see in the trailers. Nothing new happens in those fights. Pretty much the extent of those fights is in the trailers. And the entire time in the theater watching that, I was going, okay, and I was waiting for something amazing, I guess, to happen, and it never did, because I saw it in the trailers. The trailers expose way too much about the story, or the movie, and that's all there was to the movie. Just fights, and that's it. And fan service of Spider-Man doing cool finishers like the Insomniac did. This movie was just a fan service for Spider-Man, especially with him recreating the comic book covers in the montage of him throwing himself into Spider-Man. Also, of him throwing himself into the work of Spider-Man. That is what this movie should have been. Okay, it shouldn't have been towards the end of him throwing himself into the work of Spider-Man and learning his acceptance of whatever he had to learn in the movie. We should have seen this version of Spider-Man throw himself into the work of Spider-Man, catching all of these criminals. That is what this movie should have been, because Peter Parker, or Tom Holland, I should say, does not give a good portrayal of him being down in the dumps in depression. Sure, I mean, he's stalking his friends on Instagram, or social media, which probably is what you would do because there's the internet, okay? But I mean, Andrew did it better when he was on top of the rooftops stalking Gwen Stacy in the TASM movies, okay? I felt more emotion for Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Far From Home, when he was planning that date for MJ in Europe, when he was down in the dumps after he just gave the glasses to Mysterio, when he was grieving that he was trying to fill in Tony Stark's shoes, when he lost his aunt. I felt more emotion during that than in the entirety of this movie. Okay, the movie cannot pick a plot, whether it wants to be with the Department of Damage Control, and then that coincides with the Jean Grey thing, and we have him teaming up with the Punisher. We don't know if we want to focus on Peter's metamorphosis and the inhibitor chip, or we want to focus on the Peter trying to reach out and reconnect with his friends. There's too many little subplot points that I cannot pick one, and it does not do one eitherly good. The only thing that this movie does good is fan service for Spider-Man, and even at that point, he doesn't really do awesome swinging sequences, because TASM still does it better. Okay, this movie just sucked. Okay, it was entertaining because of the action sequences, and that was pretty much it. Also, Yelena was awesome, but yeah.